question and answers.
Yes, thank you. Lotte Mejlhed, TV2 Denmark. For you, Mr. Governor, you are saying in a statement, actually, by signing this statement, yes, that you want to show the world that California is a stable, reliable partner, no matter who is in the White House. Yeah. In which way do you want to show the Danish people that you are different from Trump? A Trump that has actually said that he would like to take over part of the Danish kingdom, Greenland. So how would you, by signing this agreement, show the Danish people that you want a different way?
Well, I can only establish the California way, representing, a state with more scientists, engineers, more researchers, more Nobel laureates. I would argue one of the finest systems of public higher education anywhere in the world. A state, as I said, that practices pluralism, state that has all kinds of struggles, all kinds of challenges. We recognize that. But a state of mind is about an open hand, not a closed fist. It's about expressing respect and appreciation. We all share the same short moment in life, and there's grace in that. And so our approach is a little different from that perspective. I think it's because of our values that we continue to excel. There's not an economy in the United States of America that has any industry larger than the state of California. Forestry, jobs, even hunting, agriculture. In every key industry, the minister and I had the privilege of talking about Salesforce. When I was mayor, proving how long ago it was, the cloud was still in the sky. Apps were things you filled out to get into college. Facebook didn't even exist. LinkedIn was a prison. 5G was a parking space. You get the point. The world is changing, and so our mindset is around inclusivity. Our mindset is around encouraging people from all over the world to feel like they belong. They're seen. They're heard. It's an economic strategy, and I feel like all those values are challenged at the moment. And so we just want folks to know we're many parts of the United States of America, but one body. I say this, red states, blue states, when one part suffers, we all suffer. And so we're all in this together, and I want to make that case to you, your country, to the businesses that are here, that you matter and we care. And to the extent that distinguishes our approach to the current administration, so be it.
Thank you. And guess what? Also in Denmark, people are looking very closely about what is happening here politically. And they are always asking me, who is actually, lead of the resistance against Trump in the United States? So I have to ask you the question: will you be the lead Democrat candidate to run against Trump and his supporters?
I don't know. Have you been watching my Twitter feed? Doing what I can. Thank you.
Hi, Governor. Thanks for having us. Monica Madden, ABC 7 News. A lot of alluding to the commander-in-chief. Obviously, one way you're trying to rein in some of his power is through the redistricting ballot measure. Question for you, though. We're seeing a lot of Republican resistance from that already, including former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, Congressman Kiley with his bill in Congress. Have you spoken to the former governor as he tries to become the gerrymandering terminator? And have you made contact with President Trump? Is there a possibility that we could get a national ceasefire on all of the gerrymandering efforts?
Well, the last time I talked to Donald Trump, he federalized the National Guard. So I haven't had that opportunity. He militarized the streets of a great American city in Los Angeles. We said at the time it was a preview of things to come. What more evidence do you need than what's happening in Washington, D.C.? As it relates to the former governor, who's a friend and a colleague of sorts, I met with him for an hour and a half last week, went down and visited him at his home. We had a fantastic conversation. And we share many of the same values. We certainly share many of the same concerns about the current occupant in the White House. Very proud of the legislature for moving quickly. We have now a special election on November 4th. We're looking forward to the voters doing something the voters have never been tasked to do in any time in U.S. history, in the most transparent and democratic way, making a determination for themselves what maps are appropriate in redistricting. That is in stark contrast to what happened in Texas, where those maps were drawn at Mar-a-Lago. And so our approach is very different. It's temporary, it's transparent, and it's democratic.
So it was agree to disagree with Governor Schwarzenegger?
We had more areas of agreement than disagreement.
Thank you.
Governor Lauren Thomas of CBS News Bay Area, thank you for your time. Also on redistricting, recent polling has shown that a majority of voters in the state are not in support of this ballot measure, including one out this morning by our neighbors over at UC Berkeley. We're also starting to see a lot of spending on opposition mailers on this. I myself received one in the mail just yesterday. So what is your confidence level that this ballot measure is going to get across the finish line, and what kind of support do you think it really needs to accomplish that?
Well, we've had overwhelming support, including former President Barack Obama. It's united the Democratic Party. Independents, I think, broadly recognize what's at stake. And so we put a stake in the ground. We're giving the people the opportunity to decide. I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to succeed. The more people are made aware of what this is, the more likely they are to support it. As it relates to the opposition, it was just predictable. It was very predictable. You have Trump-aligned, Trump-backed forces that are going to spend upwards of $100 million to defeat this initiative. They want to rig the election. Donald Trump knows he will lose the midterms. He knows he'll lose next November. Why else do you call a governor of a red state and say you're, quote unquote, entitled to 5 seats? He did his bidding. He's not just trying to rig things in Texas. He's doing it in Indiana. He's doing it in Missouri. And he'll do it in Florida. We responded to what occurred. And I think the people of this state recognize what's at stake. And we're giving them that opportunity in a transparent way. And I believe we'll be successful this November. Mr. Minister, I have a question for you. No, I just once again thank everybody for being here, and thank you for the spirit that brings you here as well. And Mr. Minister, I look forward to, I did get an invitation, and I think I'm the only one in this room that hasn't had the privilege of being in Denmark, and I'm going to take advantage of your cell phone and make sure I see you when I arrive. And I'm told August, is it not? Best month. Don't go in November. August it is. Yeah, I need to be here for the election in November. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. August is a good month.
Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat California, recently discussed California's new legislation that will put redistricting on the ballot in November. During a conversation, he emphasized California's leadership and its role in showcasing a different approach compared to President Trump's administration. He highlighted that California is home to a diverse and innovative population, including scientists, engineers, and Nobel laureates. This sets the state apart as a model for pluralism, inclusivity, and economic growth. The governor made it clear that California embraces a mindset of openness and respect, offering a stark contrast to Trump's more divisive policies. Newsom pointed out that California's economy is the largest in the U.S., with major industries such as tech, agriculture, and forestry. He argued that the state's success stems from its inclusive environment, which encourages participation from people all over the world, fostering a sense of belonging for all. He also addressed the political divide between red and blue states, emphasizing that the challenges faced by one state are felt by all. According to Newsom, California's approach of unity and mutual respect reflects a belief that when one part of the country suffers, the entire nation suffers. This philosophy, he argued, is central to California's values. Turning to the issue of redistricting, the governor responded to the political battles surrounding the process, especially the influence of Trump and his administration. Newsom explained that California's redistricting efforts differ significantly from Trump's tactics, notably because the state is giving its voters the power to determine the maps through a transparent and democratic process. This move contrasts sharply with Trump's approach, where maps were drawn in secretive locations, such as Mar-a-Lago. Newsom reiterated that the upcoming election on redistricting would allow voters to have their say in an open and fair manner, as opposed to the rigged systems seen elsewhere. Governor Newsom also shared that he recently met with former Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger to discuss redistricting. Although they did not always agree on the issue, they both shared similar concerns about the current political climate and Trump's influence. Newsom emphasized that despite their differences on some points, they were united in their desire to create a more transparent and democratic system. Despite opposition to the redistricting measure from Trump-aligned groups, which have pledged to spend millions to defeat it, Newsom expressed confidence that the measure would succeed. He pointed to widespread support from both Democrats and independents, noting that former President Barack Obama had also backed the measure. Newsom believes that as more people become aware of the measure's purpose, they will be more likely to support it, ultimately leading to its passage in November. In conclusion, Newsom highlighted his upcoming trip to Denmark and his intention to visit the country in the near future. He expressed excitement about meeting with Danish leaders and continuing his efforts to engage globally while simultaneously focusing on important domestic issues. The governor's remarks underscored the importance of California's leadership, not only in domestic politics but also in its international relations.